Angel Reese says, an Angel's dream. Of course, she's not going to miss Chicago because she hates her teammates. We all know that. We found that out last year when she drowned them all like baby kittens in a tote sack viciously when she drowned her teammates last year. And I'm sorry for the visual, but I'm just keeping it real. So trade summary per Annie Constable. Atlanta Dream get Angel Reese and a 2028 second-round pick swap.
Atlanta anticipated a merchandising gold rush after acquiring Angel Reese, but an odd thing occurred instead. The outcry is growing louder by the hour. The supporters are incensed, and the shirts are sitting. No one anticipated the public rejection that followed what was meant to be a superstar entrance. Why won't fans buy in? And before Reese has even played a single game at the Dream, what does this imply about her future there?
Reese in the headlines, the main story in the headlines for the first time since she was following a certain somebody around doing the John Cena can't see me. It's taken 3 years, but finally, Angel, you have returned. Angel Reese traded from the Chicago Sky to the Atlanta Dream. And the reaction has been nothing short of hysterical.
The internet responded as if someone had just revealed pineapple belongs on barbecue ribs, despite the Atlanta Dream's belief that they were making a huge move. What should have been a victorious celebration of selling jerseys turned into a public PR food fight as soon as Angel Reese arrived in Atlanta. Because rather than supporters scurrying to get new Dream shirts, the online response turned into an odd procession of indignation, doubt, and loud declarations that they would not spend a single penny to support the move.
2027 first-round pick and a 2028 first-round pick. You gave up 2 first-round picks for Angel Reese? What? Okay. Okay. I guarantee you, some people will actually believe in their own little minds that Chicago got fleeced. Yeah.
On paper, none of this should be happening, which is what makes the narrative so intriguing. An inexperienced rookie who still needs to figure out which basket is hers was not acquired by Atlanta. One of the top names in women's basketball was acquired by them. At barely 23 years old, a 2-time WNBA All-Star, a player who has already established herself as one of the league's most marketable stars, whose very presence typically ensures controversy, headlines, and cameras following her every step.
Cannot believe ESPN pays for this type of analysis. Angel Reese is the biggest star in basketball? The same Angel Reese who just hosted a Barbie event in Miami last weekend where no one showed up. Angel Reese isn't even the biggest star in pretend basketball. She is getting outshined in a league where outside of Caitlin Clark, there are no stars. And you expect me to believe Angel Reese is the biggest star in basketball?
After being moved to Atlanta by Chicago in return for 2 future first-round picks in 2027 and 2028, Reese emerged from the Chicago skies with exceptional output, averaging over 14 points and nearly 13 rebounds per game in her first 2 seasons.
The fact of the matter is she got traded for almost nothing. The specifics of the trade were that she got traded for a first-round pick in 2027 and a first-round pick in 2028, along with a pick swap that Atlanta gets. So what does that mean? That means specifically that Angel Reese essentially got traded for probably the 12th, 13th, 14th, or maybe 15th pick in the WNBA draft.
That type of acquisition typically causes item sales to soar. Fans typically overrun team stores on pre-sale days for concerts, causing the website to falter. The announcement that a new superstar has joined a contender typically results in sold-out jerseys, crowded arenas, and front office executives beaming like lottery winners. Rather, Atlanta received something even more peculiar. They received criticism, not just from opposition fan bases, who are always prepared to jeer everything with zeal and food, but also from a sizable portion of basketball spectators who proclaimed the move fatal before Rhee had even unpacked a suitcase. The cruelest part was when supporters boasted that they wouldn't purchase the merchandise. Because jersey sales in sports involve more than just fabric and stitching, this is where the story of the shirt sales disaster truly took off. These stock markets are emotive. They gauge belief. Excitement is measured by them. They gauge whether supporters view a player as the future or as a costly dispute that is about to break out. Too many folks in Atlanta handled Reese's entrance more like a mysterious item left on the porch than as a celebration. Some supporters publicly expressed their dissatisfaction, claiming that the dream had sacrificed too much for her. Some contended that Atlanta already had a successful formula and didn't require a celebrity who draws controversy in the same way that lightning draws tall metal poles.
Dream already selling the Angel Reese jerseys. They had a feeling they weren't going to be moving too fast, so you know what they did? They put them on sale. Oh, that's rightful.
The sports version of saying, we know she scores, rebounds, and dominates, but have you considered that people on the internet get dramatic? Reactions even suggested that Reese's divisive reputation had surpassed her basketball value. And they were dramatic. There was more to the criticism than just basketball strategy. In contemporary women's sports, Rhee has emerged as one of the most contentious athletes. Angel Reese is never brought in with the expectation of silence. Adopting a peacock and being shocked when it doesn't fit in with beige wallpaper is analogous to that. Her ability to alter a franchise's energy is precisely why Atlanta hired her. She provides the kind of star gravity that smaller market clubs spend years pleading with the basketball gods to supply, as well as attention, ticket demand, and broadcast talk. However, her entrance turned into a referendum rather than an instant celebration.
We now know she is not a franchise player for any team. Oh, but you got some mad. Oh, if y'all franchise. Whoa, they're mad, boy. They are mad. I'm loving this. I am loving it. Boy, Jeff, F you. Man, the crash out. Thank you for the crash out. Yeah, never seen a franchise tank like this. Oh, this is wild. F Jeff, we free. I wonder how y'all gonna get in the seats now. Y'all wasn't selling out in Chicago with Angel Reese. What the hell are you talking about? How big is that place down there?
Additionally, the atmosphere was completely different in Chicago. Chicago's response sounded more like a deep breath after holding tension for months than Atlanta's, which sounded like anxious squabbling in a busy restaurant. Rhee and the Sky's disagreement had been simmering beneath the surface for a while. The team had suffered greatly despite her individual prowess, missing the playoffs in both of her seasons and finishing a pitiful 10-30 for the previous year. It became more evident from reports circulating throughout the league that their relationship had deteriorated. When the deal eventually took place, the Sky appeared less like a grieving team that had lost a star and more like an organization that was silently happy to start over. Chicago's perspective of this story is extremely illuminating because of this. Teams don't just remark, "We'd rather wait for mystery boxes than keep opening this one," too nonchalantly. Furthermore, Reese's detractors were only strengthened by that ruling. Chicago's decision to let her go was seen by many skeptics as proof that something was amiss. Critics contended that Atlanta might have simply inherited a problem masquerading as a headline if the Sky were prepared to let go of a young superstar. That sentiment poured immediately into fan purchase behavior. Merchandise becomes symbolic protest when followers are skeptical of a proposal. Money is no longer a factor in refusing to purchase a clothing. It turns into a vote, a message, and an empty shopping cart picket sign in the digital age.
What in the hell is going on here? I know ESPN pays these people to polish the turd, but no amount of toxic ass gas will hypnotize people to the point that they believe Angel Reese is the biggest star in basketball. Earlier this afternoon, the Chicago Bravado traded Angel Reese to the Atlanta Dreamers. Now, as you can see, The Dreamers are already dreaming that they landed a major.
Supporters started saying that they wouldn't wear Atlanta colors with Reese's name on them. The fit felt strange, according to some. Others maintained that she had not yet gained the city's allegiance. Some just said they didn't want her on the team at all, which is a brutally honest way of saying, please return this superstar to sender. However, this is what could make the entire backlash so fleeting. Fans of sports are incredibly erratic. When a player scores 28 points and grabs 16 rebounds in a nationally broadcast revenge game in July, the same fan who declared in April that they would never purchase a jersey is frequently the same person yelling. The Dream are placing a precise wager on that result. They are wagering that once Ree begins stacking double-doubles in Atlanta red and blue, the anti-merchandise protest will seem as archaic as a flip phone in a Tesla showroom, that skill overpowers story, and that creation silences animosity. Without a doubt, Atlanta thinks this move has the potential to change them. Ree's competitiveness and influence were praised by the Dreamfront headquarters, which termed her a perfect fit for their mission. This confidence shows how much the company appreciates her long-term involvement.
The Angel Reese reaction of her getting a trade is just disingenuous. First of all, Stephen A. Smith, you don't watch the WNBA, you're a joke. Oh, it's a great trade for her. Bro, you don't even know what she does, man. I'm telling you, Stephen A. Smith is a BS artist. Monica McNutt is a joke. This lady said that Chicago Sky wasn't ready for her star power and her vocals. Give me a break. Stop it. Throwing your teams under the bus is not having big vocals or having star power. And if she had star power, they would have kept her on the team.
Furthermore, Reese is not a secondary attraction. She is there to support Atlanta's pursuit of a championship. For this reason, the plot of the shirt sales is more important than the humor of irate remarks and spectacular internet promises. Because it shows doubt rather than fate if the merchandise stalls right now. It represents a fan base that isn't sure if this audacious risk will result in a spectacularly televised disaster or a masterpiece. To be honest, it's just this uncertainty that makes this story so captivating. One of the most peculiar loads in sports has been carried by Angel Reese as he enters Atlanta. They have purchased a live experiment by acquiring a top player who is both incredibly valuable and perpetually contentious. Atlanta is currently in that awkward middle ground when the opinions are louder, the headlines are louder, and the cash registers seem to be quieter than anticipated. And somewhere in Chicago, folks who have already packed the boxes, changed the locks, and are only waiting to see if the neighbors like the new tenant are calmly observing all of this. Outrage lasts precisely until the first winning streak in all of these spectacular, emotionally